Brianna Shante Williams, born April 2nd, 1992, was valedictorian of her 2010 high school graduating class of Linden High School in Linden, Alabama, where she was raised. She was always an honor student and maintained a GPA of 3.64 and scoring a 24 on her ACT. Involved in many activities at her school, she participated in the FCCLA, the National Beta Club, played the flute in the high school marching band, and volunteered at the Red Cross and the Fibroid Foundation Center. In November 2012, she enlisted in the Navy and began her military career in Great Lakes, Illinois, and was stationed in Pensacola and Norfolk before moving to Jacksonville, Florida. She then attended Alabama A&M, graduating in 2015 with a degree in mechanical engineering. She came to the Naval Air Station Jacksonville in 2018 and was promoted in April that same year to her Information Systems Technician, First Class E6. However, this military officer dumped her daughter's body in the woods in Linden, Alabama, before packing up and moving to Brentwood from Jacksonville, Florida. Let's get into it. Brianna Shante Williams, a former Navy Chief Petty Officer, First Class at Naval Air Station Jacksonville, has been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in the 2019 death of her 5-year-old daughter, Taylor Rose Williams. On November 6, 2019, Brianna called the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to report her daughter Taylor missing and the back door of her Brentwood home unlocked. Police released body camera footage showing a highly distraught Williams crying and shaking as she told an officer that Taylor was nowhere to be found.
Hey, all right, man. All right. Hey, tell what's happened.
I woke up this morning and started getting ready for work. Cancel that. She wasn't in her room.
Okay. Have you had any problems with anybody?
No.
Okay. Anything unusual? Okay. Do you live by yourself?
Just me and her.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me search your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and they said back door. I think the back. Thanks. All right. Okay. Okay. So. Any problems with anyone else as far as?
Yes, dear.
That's it. Okay. Okay. All right. And there was been no dispute or anything like that. Any argument with anyone else? All right. Okay. What's her full name? Okay. Light skin, dark skin, brown skin. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Does she have any medical issues or anything like that? Okay. Okay. 684, Charlie 116. I need you to respond. Okay, so doesn't take any medication or anything like that. Okay. Has she done this before as far as anything like tried to leave or get out or mess with locks or anything like that? Okay. Okay. And as far as you, no problems with anyone like out of the ordinary? Any neighbors, anything like that? Okay. Have you recently taken any parks or anything? Okay.
684.
And Charlie 116. I'm gonna need you to respond.
Tempo, give me a call.
Tempo. Alright. Alright, let me see. Okay. Show me which door was locked real quick. Or unlocked. Was it the back door? Okay.
You say you moved in, or?
Okay. When did you move in?
Like, I started moving stuff. Well, I signed a lease back in June, but the place kept getting broken into.
693,
So I
35
didn't
on
want
that
to move
simulator.
there, but the guy was like leaving it vacant. He was putting in that risk.
Okay. When did you actually move in? In June or?
No, like a week ago, a few days ago.
Okay. Today's Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay. Did you move in, let's say, over the weekend?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright.
How tall is she?
She's like 1 year.
What do you figure, 3 foot? It's 3 foot, I guess.
Color hair?
She is in an afro.
Also, 75341, 298. Kilo.
Let's say brown skin. I'll put out Bolo in a second. And she was wearing purple. What was she wearing?
She was wearing pink and purple.
Pink and purple pajamas.
Yes.
Does she have any scars or anything? Okay. Okay. And the pink and purple pajamas, were they full length or half length?
It was like a t-shirt.
T-shirt? Okay. And what about the bottoms? Were they full length or were they full? Let me get your name, ma'am.
Brianna.
Brianna. B-R-E.
I.
B-R-E.
B-R-I.
B-R-I. I'm sorry. B-R-I.
A-N-N-A.
A-N-N-A. What's your middle name, ma'am?
Shante.
S-H?
S-H-O-N-T-A-E.
A-E. And your last name?
Williams.
W-I-L-L-I-A-M-S. What's your date of birth, ma'am?
April 2nd, 1992.
April 2nd, 92. Okay. 1992. Okay.
Charlie 116, 684.
I'm calling now, sorry. Hang on 1 second for him now, okay? Hey, dad checked the house, said, no sign of the child. They recently moved in over the weekend to this residence. No signs of forced entry. Doesn't have a history. Let me find out if she's in school. Is she in school, ma'am? No, she's not in school yet.
Any other family members that would have come and got her?
No, no other family members. him the child there.
So you said she does not go to school?
She does not go to school.
And we last saw her at midnight?
When she put her to bed.
Alright, so they just moved in this weekend. Did she ever run off like this before?
No. 1054. Nothing like this. No history.
And y'all have torn that house apart?
I didn't even go in the house. I was just getting information from my mom. Chad went in the house already. He's doing a canvas.
Go in the house. Go ahead in the house and tear that house apart. Make sure she's not hiding somewhere in the house.
Temple.
And I'm on my way, but you tear that house apart.
Temple. I got you.
Alright?
Alright.
I'll be there shortly.
Temple. Bye. Ma'am, I'll be right back. Okay? Alright? Let me make sure she's not back here somewhere.
A massive search effort and investigation ensued, during which Williams came uncooperative with law enforcement after she was questioned about some inconsistencies in her story. The investigation showed Brianna, days prior to Taylor's disappearance, traveled to a remote area of Alabama where she briefly stayed before immediately returning to Jacksonville. GPS tracking on her cell phone found that she went to Alabama on October 31st, 2019, and again on November the 1st and November the 2nd. Brianna returned to Jacksonville at around 5:28 on November 3rd, 2019. 6 hours later, she posted a Craigslist ad looking for help moving out of her apartment at the Southside Villas, but the mover said they never saw Taylor the entire time. One mover stated that it honestly looked like she had been recently evicted or something because it was not well lived in if there was a child there. There was old food all over the floor, underneath the couches. There was trash everywhere. The apartment was in disarray with a strong odor of feces and urine. She added, "We never saw a child. We never heard of a child, nothing. I was assuming the kid was in daycare or the child was with a friend so she could get her apartment cleaned out." Investigators also searched Williams' apartment and found possible blood stains in 6 areas of the apartment. Soiled children's clothing, cans of soup and fruit with small openings in them, and fecal matter. Police reports showed that officers found a closet reeked of bodily waste and human decomposition and had blood stains on the carpet and walls that matched Taylor's DNA. Her bed was also reported to smell of urine and feces were also found in the bed. Pauletta Sweeney, one neighbor from the apartments, testified that one night she could hear crying and it was a little kid crying, but she never heard it again and stopped seeing the little girl around April of 2019. When she asked about Taylor, Brianna said she was in Alabama with her mother. That's also when she smelled something bad coming from their storage closet. When investigators talked to Brianna's mother, she stated she had not seen Taylor since January of 2019. Taylor had previously attended kindergarten, a daycare facility in Jacksonville. Detectives said records revealed the last time Taylor went to the facility was April 10, 2019. Carlos Johnson, another neighbor, testified that he was on the phone with his mother on his balcony when he spotted Taylor wandering along outside the apartments. "I said to her, 'What are you doing out here?' And she said, 'Looking for my mama.'" He said he took Taylor back to her apartment and told her to lock the door. He described the inside of the apartment as cluttered with trash bags and boxes stacked on top of each other. The same neighbor said he continued to see Taylor home alone at least every other day, explaining that Taylor would wave to him from her apartment. He said she was always wearing the same pajamas and holding the same doll. He saw Taylor outside twice more, and he took her home, still saying she was looking for her mother, but never saw her car parked nearby. As for the Ivy Street home that she moved into from her apartment, neighbors said they hadn't seen Taylor since the mother moved in. Search operations then shifted to Alabama, near where Williams went to high school, just south of Demopolis. The Demopolis Police Department, Alabama, announced November 12, 2019, that human remains were found in a remote area in Alabama. Forensic analysis confirmed the remains belonged to Taylor.
There's several crews making their way into this crime scene here in a rural area in Alabama. We saw this not long after police announced that human remains were found in this wooded area. JSO crime scene unit vans and the State Bureau of Investigation, as well as several other undercover detectives, have been here, and JSO says that they received a tip that drove them to search this area of Alabama. And we've learned from sources and from family members that Taylor's mother, Brianna Williams' phone pinged in this area. Again, Sheriff Williams announced moments ago during that news conference that they believe the remains found here today belong to Taylor Williams. We'll continue to keep you updated about this as soon as we know more. But if you want to take a look at this scene right now, you can see a lot of the crews have cleared out here. Now, they do have some crews further up there that's going to be manning this scene tonight. But again, a lot of the crews have left from earlier this evening. But again, we'll continue to keep you updated as soon as we know more.
Other searches led to more evidence that law enforcement found that made them believe that Brianna was involved in Taylor missing. Cadaver dogs caught a whiff of the scent of decomposition inside the trunk of Williams' 2017 black Honda Accord, where detectives found dead magnets and assorted sex toys. Along with Taylor's remains, a rope, blue gloves, wire, papers, a knife, and a cardboard were found in the area where police had tracked Brianna's GPS. Brianna is also accused of searching the internet for information about starvation and malnourishment. The Alabama autopsy report and related documents said Taylor had been dead for weeks, even months, when she was found. The autopsy said discovery of the decomposed remains dug up in the wooded area is suspicious for homicide, but no definite evidence of violence or cause of death was found. When the bones of Taylor were analyzed, they were consistent to malnutrition. Evidence provided showed that she was starved to death. On November 12, 2019, Brianna was arrested for child neglect and giving false information to law enforcement. She was taken to the hospital after being found unconscious at the Naval Air Station, Jacksonville, because of an apparent overdose. Williams' suicide attempt landed her in the hospital and placed her in a medical-induced coma and in police custody. Williams was absentee booked on November 12, 2019. A police report said she ingested Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, which rendered her unconscious. On November 21, 2019, Brianna is moved from the hospital to the Duval County Jail and placed on a $1.1 million bond. She was charged with child neglect and giving false information. January 8, 2020, Brianna Williams appeared in front of a judge in Duval County for the first time wearing a red jumpsuit because she was being watched for possible self-harm or considered a high escape risk or needed medical transport. She pleaded not guilty to felony charges. Further evidence was released and reported that friends and family told police that Brianna would punish Taylor for hiding food and that Brianna would complain that Taylor had become a nightmare. No one at the base was aware that she even had a child. On March the 3rd, 2022, Brianna Williams pleads guilty to second-degree murder in Taylor's death. While the maximum possible sentence is life, the minimum guideline sentence is more than 20 years. The prosecution, led by Assistant State Attorney Lauren Anderson, had argued for life in prison, while Williams' public defender urged a minimum 20 and a half years. Defense attorney Joshua Beard presented Gainesville psychologist Ernest Bordini as his only witness in the sentencing hearing. Bordini said Williams was clearly emotionally charged as well as anxious and depressed, certainly showing some schizophrenia and mood disorders. He said Williams' past included an overdose when she was younger, as well as eating and diet issues since childhood, a sexual assault, abortion, and other child sexual trauma. Bradini said Williams put Taylor inside a container since it was easier to get her out of the apartment and neighbors wouldn't notice. She drove to Demopolis but could not find her grandfather's grave where she wanted to bury her, and ultimately put the body where she thought she could find it again and come back to Jacksonville. Her plan was to go back, get her daughter's body, and bury it with her grandfather, Bordini testified. She indicated that she could not go back to the apartment for a period of time, Bordini said. She continued to have suicidal thoughts and wanted to have her buried, and she came up with this idea wanting to bury her next to her grandfather. On 9/20/2022, Brianna Williams is sentenced to life in prison. Because she was scared, she had a statement she prepared, read by the public defender's office. It stated, "I failed as a mother, a protector, and a decent human being. I didn't immediately call the police, and when I finally called, I lied and lied some more. I didn't take any timely opportunity to right my wrongs. I apologize to everyone affected by this tragedy." As he delivered her sentence, the judge said he reread much of the evidence over the past few days. That included Williams' school and Navy records, psychological reports, and Taylor's autopsy, as well as evidence of what she did after the death and the shape of the body afterward. While he found her lack of a past criminal record unusual and her Navy background outstanding, Blaze said there were many unresolved issues. Regarding the psychological issues, the court has taken all the testimony into consideration, he said. The judge pointed out to a lot of evidence that showed no food in Williams' Ivy Street home or the Southside apartment in the months leading up to Taylor's death. There was no significant purchase of groceries during that time period, Blaze said. Noting Taylor also appeared small in evidence photos, apparently losing weight. Once Williams discovered her dead, the defendant failed to report the death of her daughter, he said. She then lied to law enforcement repeatedly over the course of an investigation in order to conceal what she had done, which was to transport the body out of state and dispose of the body, which this court construes consciousness of guilt. Blaze said he wanted to ensure that the community is protected and that the decision is rendered in a way that does not dishonor the death of Taylor Rose. Williams received credit for 1,043 days that she had already served. All right, guys, that is the end of that story. What is your opinion on the choices that Brianna made? Do you think that she had pre-planned this? Or do you think that it was just something that she decided to do in just a few months prior to her death? Me personally, I think it was planned. You're probably wondering, where was her father? Now, Taylor's father still lived in Alabama. And the last time he seen Taylor is when her and Brianna came in for their grandmother's funeral. He questioned Brianna then about her weight. He felt like she was looking small and, that she needed to feed her more. Was she not eating? Like, he wanted to know what was going on with her weight. After that, he lost contact. Like, he totally lost contact because Brianna kept changing her number, so he couldn't keep in touch with her. And then the next time he see his daughter or hear anything related to his daughter, she is gone. She could have took this baby back home to her parents or her aunt and uncle. They would have took care of her, or took her back to her father. He probably would have took care of her. She had so many other choices to make here, and she totally made all the wrong choices. All right, guys, that is it for me. Make sure to hit that like button for me. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you in advance. And comment below what your thoughts is about the choices that Brianna made. Until next time, take care of you.